National Grandparents Day today. I know there are many, many grandparents out there that frankly deserve a whole hell of a lot more love and appreciation than maybe they receive. And I also know that there are just so many of us that take the grandparents for granted. They're always there. When we need some help, we pick up the phone, we call them. Oh my God, I got something going on. Can you take the kids? Can you bring them here? Bring them there, dude. Throw some love in some way, shape, or form today to a grandparent near and dear to your heart, even if you just say thanks for being such a great grandparent to my kid. Or maybe throw some love on social media to them today as well. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. Today, according to the International Association for Suicide Prevention, every year suicide is among the top 20 leading causes of death globally. That's big time. It's responsible for over 800,000 deaths, which equates to one suicide every 40 seconds. So thought I would drop those stats this morning. It's big. It's big. And the whole thing is there are so many reasons to live and so many great services out there that are available to you no matter who you are or where you live in America or elsewhere that can help you significantly and have a huge impact on your life. So don't hesitate to reach out, right? I want to thank Bon Lafayette for coming on the air yesterday with his dad, Rick. I mean, it was that's the kind of stuff that I love about podcasting right there, doing shows like that yesterday. Just thoroughly enjoyed having their time. Don't forget, Bon's going to be singing at the Den in Williamstown on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, he'll be up in Cabot at the Den up there performing as well. I think 6 o'clock is kind of a safe bet for both. That's open mic night over at the Den in Williamstown on Wednesday. Fly on the Wall Productions bringing you the Aired Out podcast this morning. Streamed everywhere you get your podcasts and on the web at airedoutvt.com. The sun is shining. It is a beautiful day. Weather from NBC5 is saying lots of early morning fog that is burning off right now if it's not already completely burned off. And it's going to bring about abundant sunshine. It's going to be beautiful today. Mid to upper 60s. Tonight, 43 and clear. Wednesday, tomorrow, sunny and 75. Thursday, sun and clouds, 79, and that warming trend is going to continue as we approach the weekend. Friday, we're looking at 81 and sunny. The weekend, why not? Let's tell you about it. It's a little ways away, but right now it's just beautiful. 82 and partly sunny on Saturday. Same story on Sunday. So isn't that nice? You got plans this weekend? I'd say you're in luck. Shout out this morning in the business spotlight to BCK Real Estate, also known as William Ravies. Dial them up right here in Barrie and find out why it is so important to have buyer representation when you're shopping for a new home. We have been with them for a long time, and we just love having them as a presenting sponsor. There is so much confusion about the market right now. I know it. You know it. What's going on? What's up? What's down? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? The stuff that's coming in from the national trending stories about the real estate market, everybody's in a panic about it. Just calm down and call BCK Real Estate. They're going to break it down for you in simplistic terms that you can understand and tell you what's going on in our market right here in central Vermont. All right? A lot of scare tactics in the news about the real estate market. Just chill out and get in touch with BCK Real Estate, 86 North Main Street, right here in the Granite City. You can call 479-3366 if you want to set up an appointment. Get over there and sit down with John Beyondolillo. Wellness Wednesday It is, well, of course, from Washington County Mental Health, it is tomorrow. I get so excited about this that I almost want to think that it's today. But no, you've got to wait till tomorrow. Central Vermont has been talking about this for a long time and is always very excited when it comes back, and it is back. Last Wednesday was their first of this go. It started a couple of years ago and has just exploded in popularity. Do not miss this next one tomorrow. Come by, relax, treat yourself to a little bit of peace from 4:30 until 7 o'clock upstairs at the Well Space Building, 23 Summer Street in Barrie. Here's what they're serving up: acupuncture, mindfulness meditation, hot tea, massage, table massages, chair massages, myofascial body release, Reiki. I never know how to pronounce that. Here's the deal. Call ahead if you would like a massage or Reiki or any of those services, just to reserve your time. But you don't have to bring your wallet. It's free. Here's the phone number, 479-4055, 479-4055. Give them a call now. Washington County Mental Health has served the Central Vermont community for almost 60 years. And we're talking about 6,000 plus Vermonters every year that Washington County Mental Health has a impact on, which is a big number. That's huge. Larry Seiler from Ableton On Air is going to be coming by in a little bit to talk about his podcast later today at about 3:15, and he's going to reveal his guest. So we'll have that for you in a little bit. Also, we're going to be chatting with Corrina Thurston in just a few. She has been on Aired Out once. It was a long time ago. I will never forget sitting down and chatting with Corrina Thurston and hearing her story. And she's gearing up for a big weekend. She'll tell you all about it, and she'll share her story with you this morning at about 9:30 right here on Aired Out. Vermont headlines straight from NBC5, WCAX, VT Digger. We have Vermont State Police investigating a deadly plane crash that killed 4 people over the weekend. Saw this headline pop up on the phone. I was like, whoa. Investigators located the wreckage of this aircraft in the early hours of Monday morning in a wooded area just east of the Basin Harbor Airport. From what I understand, and it was a 4-seater single-engine plane from Connecticut that was flying up to the Basin Harbor Club for the day and then planning to return, and it was their return that ended up in that crash. So very tragic. And if we get any more info, we'll be sure to share it along with you. Burlington City Councilors had a packed agenda Monday after the recent deadly shooting more than 2 weeks ago on Church Street, as well as a series of violent crimes and gunfire incidents involving young teens. And they said last night that public safety has become the focus. Well, I would think so, more than anything else. That's got to be the priority. It has to be. Several of the agenda items addressed the concern, and one of them included a resolution promising that Burlington leaders would seek ways to reduce gun violence in the Queen City, which, listen, just saying it like it is this morning, I think most of us would, I don't know, not all of us. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's, at least for me, Burlington is just not on my list of cities that I'm anxious to visit right now. It's just, that's the way it is. And I'm sorry to say that, but, I think several people feel that way. But Obviously not everyone. But anyway, it's just sad what's going on. It really is. We have a Royalton Police Department officer that's been placed on leave after being cited on several domestic violence charges. Vermont State Police say that several incidents occurred in late August and in September that got their attention. Investigators say that Jacob Oliver from Woodstock was physically violent with a woman who he was in a relationship with. Police say that this happened at a private residence in Randolph. They also say that this officer, 30 years old, prevented her from calling emergency services and wouldn't let her leave. We're watching this one, and I'm sure we'll get some developments, and if we do, we'll share them with you. The West Glover woman, and this story was really kind of breaking yesterday. Looks like she's going to be charged with attempted murder, taken into police custody, allegedly trying to kill someone after an argument. Police say they received several 911 calls just after midnight on Saturday from a man claiming that he had been shot at while leaving a home. Police met up with the man, and from speaking with him, learned that he had met up with Elena Bouchard at her home the previous night. The two got into a verbal disagreement, and while the man was leaving, he says that Bouchard fired a gun multiple times at his vehicle. No injuries were reported as a result. Miraculously, later that afternoon, police executed a search warrant at Bouchard's home where she was arrested. She's being held without bail ahead of her arraignment at 12:30 yesterday in Vermont Superior Court in Newport. So police say it was an isolated incident and that the public is not at any threat here. But, boy, you never know who you're getting into a relationship with until shit starts going south. Again, if you're just getting started with us this morning, it is just going to be beautiful today. Plenty of sunshine after all of the fog burns off, and we're looking at daytime highs around 66 degrees. Real comfortable and perfect project weather. Optical Expressions, I'm wearing their glasses right now, do every morning. Not that I cannot operate without them, but when I do have them on, it makes life a lot easier, thanks to Will and Mark Liepert and Tim and the rest of the team over at Optical Expressions who fit me with these glasses some time ago, because I had the exam and it wasn't that great. And they were like, "You're looking at a computer monitor a lot, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, how did you know?" "Well, here's the results of your eye exam." One of the things that they said to me was, just keep track of this stuff, because we can very gradually have some deficiencies in our eyesight that we're not really aware of, because it's so gradual on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes it happens fast, sometimes it happens slowly. So they said, come back for another eye exam and get it checked out. 2 years max. So next Monday, I think, is my next eye exam over at Optical Expressions. Maybe I'll go live during it. I don't know. 4th floor of the Blanchard Block, right here in the Granite City. That's their new location. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6. Give them a call, 223-2090, to set up an exam today. Optical Expressions. National headlines. We've got liftoff. SpaceX's Polaris Dawn mission took off this morning. This is the civilian crew taking flight for this historic commercial spacewalk. 4 civilian astronauts are in orbit right now, making their way to record-breaking heights aboard this mission. I don't know. Would you do something like that? Or as some of my friends would say, but are they really up there right now? Or are they in a studio somewhere with a fake backdrop? I don't know. Who knows? I think they're up there, but what the hell do I know? Kamala Harris, Donald Trump going to be meeting for the first time face-to-face tonight for it looks like this is going to be their only debate, but you know, it is a great opportunity for them to showcase their different versions of how they intend to drive the big bus of this country. And it has been it's been a turbulent summer for sure in the political world. So we'll see what happens. Things are hot. The temperature's there. Yes, they are going to be killing microphones tonight. When you go over your time, they're going to mute you. I think the Donald knows that. But I also think that he's probably going to still be talking, even when the mic is off. 9 o'clock tonight, live in Philadelphia. It is going to be interesting. Pop some popcorn, get the cozy blanket, sit down, and watch the debate tonight. All right, we'll have a recap tomorrow morning. We have more than 60 active large wildfires that are burning more than 2 million acres across the western United States, resulting in emergency declarations across the region, driving thousands of people out of their homes. Those who do not have to evacuate are dealing with power outages, closed schools, canceled plans because of these fires and excessive heat. Blazes in California, Idaho, and Nevada are really, really bad right now. So evacuations and destruction of several homes and businesses. I think I read this morning that there are 8 active fires that are burning in Southern California alone this morning, and they're big. Speaking of big, all eyes are on Francine, and man, is she a big old girl. This is a massive storm that is churning in the Gulf of Mexico, expected to make landfall tomorrow in Louisiana as a Category 2 or 3 hurricane. It's supposed to be huge. And the governor there declaring a state of emergency and telling people to literally bat down the hatches. She's coming. And in Texas as well. It's going to be a direct hit. So our prayers with the people in that region this morning. Yesterday, we heard the news that James Earl Jones had passed away at 93 years old. What a remarkable guy who was so transparent about his issues with stuttering and how serious it was for him and how he had to deal with it, which so many people do. And I got a chance to hear a little bit of an interview that he did about that. And he was just such a remarkable guy in so many different ways and so many different areas, not just an incredible voice, but just an incredible man. And I have heard his voice more in the last 9 years because of Lion King than I ever have before from any other movie. Yes, Lily loves her Lion King, but an unmistakable voice, gone forever. James Earl Jones. Bottles of juice sold across the country under various brands at Walgreens and Walmart and BJ's and Aldi have been recalled over concerns about arsenic levels. How many times have we all heard in the last whatever year or two or more, my God, you never know what's in the stuff that you're drinking. I've heard it all. I've heard the conspiracies about, government's trying to poison you. They're putting arsenic in your apple juice. Well, just be aware of it. Be aware of it. It's all over the news. And I'm sure these stores, I would assume these stores have pulled this stuff from the shelves and that they're, providing information for you when you walk in there that this is not for sale right now because of possible, I did say possible, arsenic levels in different kinds of juice. Interesting. Big Lots. Leaving central Vermont very quickly, I see, if they're not already closed over there, but has tried to survive nationally and is just not able to do it. And the white flag is waving. They have officially filed for bankruptcy. So what does this mean? They're closing everywhere. So will there be any Big Lots open anywhere? I don't know. But that officially came out that it's officially bankruptcy yesterday. World news, it's never great. Anytime I say world news, it's just not the most amazing, happy, feel-good stories. It's usually what's going on in Gaza. And this morning, we have reports that at least 40 people were killed in an overnight Israeli strike on a humanitarian zone created to shelter displaced people in southern Gaza. The strike hit Al-Mawasi, a coastal region where tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians have fled. Many have been living in tents with sparse infrastructure and little access to shelter and humanitarian aid. 40 killed and at least 40, they're saying between 40 and 60 injured from that attack just last night alone. That story's pretty much got the front page of world news this morning. Checking sports. Red Sox crushed the Orioles 12-3 last night. The series continues tonight at 7:10. Thunder Road, we've got Champions Night on Friday. NFL, we've got Week 2 officially starting on Thursday. Jets lost to the 49ers 32-19 last night. Not a great night for Rodgers. NASCAR this Saturday and Sunday at Watkins Glen. Let's talk about the Den right in Williamstown. I was just saying a minute ago that Bon Lafayette, who was my guest yesterday morning, is going to be doing open mic night at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night at the Den in Williamstown. You ought to get over and check that out. You're not going to be disappointed, really. Give him a handshake and welcome him back home here to Vermont and maybe thank him for his amazing podcast interview yesterday with his dad, Rick. Thursday night, they've got line dancing over at the Den, 6 p.m. for the beginners, 7 p.m. for folks that are more advanced with line dancing. It goes till 9. Diamond Special is playing at 9 o'clock on Friday night. Saturday night, Exit 23 is going to be blasting up on stage. It's going to be a great weekend. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your coworkers, bring your appetite, and bring your private function, too, over to the Den in Williamstown. The Den in Williamstown at gmail.com. And enjoy some great food over there as well. Andy and I just put back a couple of smash burgers, and whew, the look on both of our faces. So we'll be back soon. We've got Corrina Thurston, who's going to be joining up with us here in just a minute. Good morning to you. And I want to say, if you have plans today to be outdoors, you are in luck. It is going to be gorgeous. Plenty of sunshine and mid to upper 60s. Whew. It's going to be nice. And this nice stretch of weather is going to continue right on for the rest of the week. And as we approach Friday, it is going to be even better. We're looking at temps in the 80s. And just look at it out there. It is amazing. I love it. So get out and enjoy if you can. Community calendar. We have a lot of stuff that is going on here in Central Vermont. And I just want to lead off by saying what we do here at Aired Out is we dive deep into the World newspaper. And we use the World newspaper as kind of our source for what's happening. A newspaper that reaches a lot of people. We're talking about 20,000 plus people per week. And if you haven't checked out the online version, you ought to. vt-world.com. That's the one that I'm hopping on a lot. But it is Tuesday. We have the Tuesday night meal, the Tuesday night dinner served up at the American Legion at 5:30. They ask you to call ahead if you would like to reserve a meal, just so that you can plan on how much food to cook. 479-9058. You can eat right there, or you can take it home. 479-9058. And what we do is we not only promote that, but also the fact that they've got bingo that they serve up right after the meal that they serve up. So it's a good time on Tuesday nights over at the American Legion Post 10. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Berry City Farmers Market at 3:30. Once again, we have Wellness Wednesday through Washington County Mental Health. That is back at the Well Space Building on Summer Street. We'll talk more about that tomorrow morning. We'll give you a reminder on that. Wing-a-ding over at the VFW Post 790. Got to the last one, and I don't know how many wings I put down and how many wings I brought home also, but it was incredible. Thursday, let's see. We are winding down our concerts in the park. We have Donna Thunder, who's going to be blasting out, I think, the final one, if I'm not mistaken, which is going to be tremendous. No shoes allowed. Please remove your shoes. Bare feet only. It's going to be amazing. The final Rockfire event at Millstone in Barrytown is this coming Saturday night, the 14th. It's going to be big. It's going to be, tremendous. Bring the family. Get out and enjoy that. I have to admit, and I will, I've never been, so I'm hoping to get to Rockfire Saturday night. The Fall Festival in Montpelier, right there at the Capitol Lawn. You've probably seen it in the World. You've probably read about it, maybe in the Times-Argus. It's on the 28th. It's from noon to 4, and we've got a special guest. Vic is going to be coming in to chat with us about that real soon. I think leading up the week just before that. Also, looking ahead here to this coming weekend, the Cabot Sock Sale. Year number 42. 14th and the 15th. Going to be amazing. I'm hoping to sneak out of the house and maybe make my way to the Cabot Sock Sale. If I can try to muster up some funds. And, you always need new socks, especially coming into the cooler weather. And I've only got 200 pairs, so I could use some more. Corrina, good morning, honey. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Man, I'm so glad you're with us this morning. You and I finally connected. It's been a long time since I've had Corrina Thurston on Aired Out.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. How is, before we get to what's going on this weekend and what you're doing and everything, how is motherhood?
Pretty good. Actually, I've got my 4.5-year-old right here. You want to say hi? Hey.
Oh, 4.5. Holy crap.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Naughty, naughty birds.
There was a little bit of a British accent in there.
Yes, there is.
Naughty. Corrina, I know that you're a busy lady. I know you have a lot of stuff that's going on. Tell us first off, what's happening this weekend.
So I'll start off by saying that a little over a year and a half ago, I became the executive director for the Milton Artist Guild up in Milton. And we are a nonprofit, an arts nonprofit, and we have over 135 different artists and crafters who display in that space. It's a 6,000 square foot space year round. We're open 7 days a week. So it's like a gallery and craft show all year round. And so this weekend, we're having our biggest event of the year where we have our artists and other artists from around Vermont who come, and it's an outdoor event right next to the Guild. And we have music all day long, starting with the Vermont Youth Orchestra. And we have food trucks, and we have creamy truck, and we have all sorts of different things going on. So it's going to be a really, really fantastic time, especially since I looked at the weather and it looks like sunny and 80 degrees.
It literally could not possibly get any better for the weather. This is basically kind of an opportunity for artists that are part of the Milton Arts Guild to showcase their talents for the public.
Yeah, it is. And it's
Quiet time. No.
and it's also, it's probably about 50-50 of artists who are our member artists and artists who are from the community surrounding us.
Yeah.
So it's artists that we've never even met before, which is amazing. And last year we had about 45 vendors, and this year we have about 75.
Wow.
So it's growing a lot.
was last year number one, or was it just promoted differently?
This is the fourth year that we're doing it.
Okay.
And last year was definitely our most successful year in that we brought in almost 1,800 attendees last year.
All right.
Had different music and stuff going on. We expanded it in a lot of ways. And I think because of that, people are, who came last year, immediately were like, hey, we definitely want to go next year. And we're signing up, and had people that we'd never met before signing up to be a vendor. And so it's really growing very quickly now.
Well, you're doing something right then. And congratulations on your new post as the director of the Milton Artists Guild. That's really cool.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was really great to be able to go from being an artist myself, and I still do my own artwork. I'll have a booth at the event this weekend. But to do that and learn all these different things about running a business as an artist, which is not a simple thing to do, and then go into this role where I help, 135 other local artists do the same thing.
You understand.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it firsthand. I have seen your art over at Exile on Main, right here on North Main Street in the Granite City, and it is. And I've seen your art online too. Share with us either a website or a Facebook page where folks can go and see your art and or purchase it.
You can go to my website, which is CorrinaThurston.com. So CorrinaThurston.com.
Yeah. What kind of art is it? I mean, I think I know the answer to it, but you please give us like the real terms of what it's. There's color, and is it oil? What kinds of things are you painting?
Well, so I usually like to show people, I learned the hard way that I like to show people what it is before I tell them, but hopefully people will just go and Google me, and then they'll see, because when I say what the medium is, lots of times people are like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the medium is actually colored pencil. And so this type of colored pencil that I do is heavily, heavily layered. And so it looks like an oil painting or a photograph. I do a lot of wildlife artwork, and I do some like pet portraits and things like that. And lately I've actually been getting into doing hand-drawn earrings, which has been really fun. So over the last year or so, I've been doing lightweight wooden earrings and hand drawing the colored pencil on top of them, and then varnishing them and having them all, making them into actual earring form. And that has been super, super fun. But yeah, it's all colored pencil. And most people are shocked when they hear that after seeing the actual artwork.
It literally looks like the most vibrant photograph that you've ever seen. It's remarkable.
I think most people have not seen colored pencil that detailed and vibrant and opaque. You expect to see some of the white paper showing from underneath, but you don't. There's so many layers on there that you don't see anything except color.
Yeah. Were you an artist ever since you were a little girl?
No. So I would say I didn't really start drawing until I was 20. So as you know, but maybe others don't, when I was 18, I became very, very sick, to put it mildly. I went to college for one semester, and I ended up having to medically withdraw. And I was, relocated to my parents' house again and stayed there, mostly bedridden and in excruciating pain for the next almost 7 years. So 2 years into being in horrible pain, not sleeping, not being able to function because I had a migraine 24/7 of that entire time, which is hard to imagine for most people. I was pretty desperate and suicidal, and felt like I didn't have any purpose at that point because I couldn't do any of the things you do when you're stuck in bed. I couldn't read, I couldn't watch TV, I could barely use a computer. The migraine made it so I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't sleep. What do you do? You're in horrible pain and there's nothing to distract you. And everything that you thought was going to happen, college, going off and doing these different things. I was going to college for biology and anthropology. I was a 4.0 student. I played 3 sports in high school, and I was a pretty type A personality. And then I was barely able to walk from the bedroom, one door down to the bathroom. And I had really bad brain fog and all these different things that I could not function at all. And my mom and my parents kept me alive. So it was 2 years into that I was searching for anything at all to try and distract myself. And I found a number 2 pencil and a piece of old poster board in the closet, and I brought it back up onto the bed with me, and I started sketching. And then I thought, well, this is cool. This is good, but this would look a lot more interesting in color. My life was so deprived of color. I was literally kept in a darkened room and had like deep contractor sunglasses on inside because my migraine was so bad. And so for me, I was like, I don't have any color in my life, but I couldn't do paint or pastels or anything that was going to require like cleanup or being too upright or anything like that. So I decided to experiment with colored pencil because I thought, I could do it up in the bed. I could stop and start and not have to clean brushes or anything like that. And then I just kept playing with them and realized that the more you do it, the more layers you put on there, the more vibrant the color can get. And so that's how I started. At the age of 20, in desperation and experimentation, just able to find this thing that was the silver lining of everything that was happening. It gave me some amount of purpose that I had been lacking.
And prior to all of this, prior to age 18 and through this time, you were not an artist.
No. No, I mean, I liked art, just, as much as anybody. I thought it was interesting, thought it was cool. I remember trying to sketch once in a while as a kid, but nothing any more than anyone else. I wouldn't say. And yeah, it was just something that came out of this whole situation.
Do you think that there was literally almost from a neurological standpoint, a biological standpoint, that there was something that cracked, something that snapped, something that
got triggered,
that triggered this, that provided this portal as a result of everything that you were going through, like literally in your brain, that
yeah,
this created Corrina Thurston, the artist. Maybe. Do you ever think about that?
No, I do think about that. Because even if I had this talent prior, I don't think I would have discovered it without going through this. And part of that reason is because I don't think I would have had the patience to sit down and discover this talent, because it takes a lot. It takes a long time to do the type of artwork that I do. Some of my pieces are like the shortest is probably about 15 hours, and the longest is probably over 150 hours, because at that point you start losing track.
Yeah, of course.
But that is something, I had the patience to do it then because I was stuck in bed and didn't have anything else. But would I have had the patience as that type A personality, wanting to go running, wanting to go, do this and do that prior to that? I don't know that I would have. And so this illness, in many, many ways, not just that way, but gave me the opportunity to train myself to be much, much, much more patient than I ever was before. And I see that now in the way I, go towards motherhood, the way that I help run the Milton Artist Guild, the way that I, deal with everything in my life, is that I have a lot more patience. And every time I look at another person now, I know that they very, very well could be going through something physically or emotionally that I can't see. Because a lot of people, when I had a little bit of energy during that time, you might have seen me somewhere and had no idea how sick I was.
Yeah.
Or how much it took out of me to just do whatever that was, drop off a piece of art at a gallery, you would have no idea. And we're like, oh, but you look great. And I'm like, yeah, for this 10-minute period, and then I'm going to go lie down for a week. Like and you can't tell. And so one thing that I've learned is, I don't look at anybody the same, and I know the many different things that people are going through. And so I try to have as much patience and love and compassion for everybody else that I see as I possibly can.
Fascinating to hear this. Where are you medically today? How did you pull yourself out of this? How did you get better?
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't say that I'm 100%. And I'm not sure if I'll ever be 100%. I'm not sure. I was sick for so long without a diagnosis. I didn't get diagnosed for the first 7 years.
And what was that diagnosis?
So the diagnosis was, you ready? The diagnosis was Lyme disease and Bartonella, which is another tick-borne illness. I have an autoimmune illness called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So my body is attacking my thyroid. And then I had a whole bunch of other things where, like, my adrenal glands were pushing out cortisol, the fight or flight hormone, constantly. So it made sense that I couldn't sleep because I had that stress hormone, super high levels, 24/7. And so shaky, I was hallucinating. I couldn't sleep, which made everything worse. And, I had digestive issues. I had, all sorts of different things that happened from just, I think, being sick for so long. Everything went out of balance. And so I started seeing a doctor at the Sojourns Clinic once we finally got me diagnosed, Dr. Alexis Chesney, and she put me on long-term treatment where I had to go down there every month or two to switch up that treatment, because then the body and the Lyme disease and Bartonella would get too familiar with what I was on. So for the next 7 years, I was on different types of antibiotics and supplements and different things to try and fight this, because my body was just riddled. I had 7 years of being able to multiply in my system. It made a pretty comfy home. And so that very, very slowly started me to feel better. Not better enough to be able to say, yes, I'm going to have a full-time job an hour away and do this and do that and have all this responsibility and have but enough where, working for myself from home with my artwork, we decided that, maybe I could have a child, which is something I never thought would be possible. And so I got pregnant, and pregnancy and birth was not good. It was very, very challenging on my body. And so postpartum was very challenging, postpartum depression. And then 3 months after Josiah was born, COVID struck. So we were isolated and, couldn't even get help from family because we weren't sure, what was happening. And and I got very, very sick again. And then as time went on, we were able to find medicine that would help my postpartum depression. I was able to do acupuncture. I was able to do some of these other things and get back even more on some of the medicines that I was on. And there was a drastic change in me. And I can't fully describe what it was or why or how. But after Josiah was about 2.5, I thought I might be able to actually do some sort of part-time job, on top of my artwork and do both. And so I moved into, for 6 months, I worked at a nonprofit in Morrisville called Salvation Farms, which I loved. And then this opportunity came up with the Milton Artist Guild. And I had been on the board of directors, and they were struggling. And they lost their executive director 6 months before I actually became director. And they ended that year, 2022, negative 23,000, I think. So it was really, really struggling. And but I just looked around, and I just love that space. I love the artists there. I love everything about the Milton Artist Guild. And I'd been a member of it as an artist for like 6 years. And I just couldn't imagine it not being there. And so I took a look at, everything that it would take to try and do this, and offered myself as the executive director, saying, any month that we stay open beyond that December of 2022 was a month longer than it would have been. And so I took that risk and jumped in, and now it's 23 months later, and we're still here. We're still going. And not only that, last year we raised our revenue by $51,000. So we were in the black, which is great. Yeah. So it has been a huge success. And again, like we said, this event this weekend, going from 45 vendors last year to 75 vendors this year, I think the year before this event, they probably had like 300 to 500 people who attended. And then last year we brought in almost 1,800 people who attended. I mean, it's just growing.
Unreal.
Yeah, it's growing massively and just getting more awareness about it. People don't know it's there. And from the outside, you can't tell what it is on the inside. It's
Right.
6,000 square feet big, It is full to the brim with artwork of all different kinds, very eclectic. You've got something in there for everybody.
What tell us exactly where this is going to be held again, and what time on Saturday? Is it Saturday and Sunday?
It's just Saturday. So
Okay.
Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's in Milton, Vermont. It's between the building that has the Milton Artist Guild and the Hannaford. So there's a large green space right between our two buildings, and it's right behind the post office for Milton.
I'm guessing that we're not going to be able to miss this, especially the fact that it's 6,000 square feet.
The gallery is a year-round thing. So, and we're open 7 days a week. And talk about amazing gift options. They're all one-of-a-kind handmade items, ranging from like $5 to $3,000. It's huge range. And then this outdoor space. I mean, we are going to fill that area with just so many different types of art and crafts and products. And then we've got music, we've got the Vermont Youth Orchestra, we've got the Buck Holler Band, we've got Rebecca Padula singing, we've got Antara Gatch, she is super lively, singer-songwriter. We've got all these different things. We've got a taco truck, we've got Humble Revelry, they're a new food place in Milton that does amazing food. We've got Wagyu beef sliders. We've got the creamy truck from from Palmer Lane Maple. Their new creamy truck is going to be there. So it's going to be a lot, and it's going to be beautiful weather. So you might as well come up and check it out.
Corrina, I'm beyond thrilled to know you, to have you on the air with me, for you to share your story. This is there's the whole story of the Milton Arts Guild and the event going on this weekend, but there's the whole story about you and how you became an artist, and that is beyond fascinating to hear, and it's huge inspiration. There's so many of us that in one way or another, for one reason or another, we are trapped by something or contending with something that just will not let up its grasp on us. And you are the voice of hope and positive outcome. And man, oh man, were the odds stacked up tall on you, and look at what you've done.
Well, I appreciate that. I think there's a lot more people than we realize going through a lot of different things, and it seems like, especially right now, there's a lot of illness and a lot of death and a lot of tragedies and just challenges.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to try and be some sort of light, some sort of inspiration, even though I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, what I went through, but
sure.
It's certainly shaped who I am today. And I'm actually going to be speaking in October, the end of October. NAMI, the National Association for Mental Health, their Vermont chapter is doing a conference on October 30th, I think. And they asked me to come speak just exactly for what you just said, to be the inspirational story of the day.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that's heartwarming. And also I'm just hoping that the more we spread some of the good news, some of the positivity, the more people can realize that even in some of the harshest conditions that you can imagine, there are some good things that happen,
That's right.
and to be grateful for what we do have, even in those times.
Amen. It's amazing. I'm just I'm so blown away by your story. I know it was a couple of years ago that you shared it here on the airways, but
Yeah.
I would love to have you back in here sometime. And any time that works for you is going to work for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Thanks for coming on the air this morning, Corrina.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Wow, what a story. Corrina Thurston, right there, our guest this morning on Aired Out. Whew. Unreal. Shout out this morning before we head out into the business spotlight to Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance of Orange. They are booking landscaping jobs right up to and through the day that we get our first snowflake in the air. They are so busy, but still taking on more jobs for landscaping. And welcome your business. If you have a project that you would like to get an estimate on or have them come over and have a look, 802-505-8041. That's Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance of Orange. Again, 802-505-8041. Jason Gauthier will answer the phone and get right over to you. The Chamber of Commerce, they've got their 41st annual Calcutta online auction that is going on right now. It ends, I think it started yesterday, it ends on Monday the 16th at 6 p.m. sharp. If you want to see the list of over 90 Central Vermont businesses that have donated amazing products and services, get on centralvt.com. If you have any questions, you can always give them a jingle at 229-5711 or info@centralvt.com. But that online auction is going on right now. Listen, thanks for liking and following the page and being a part of Aired Out this morning. We appreciate you. We hope you're doing well, no matter who you are, where you're listening from. Thanks for liking and following the page. Don't forget to comment and share any episode that you enjoy or had an impact on you. The Aired Out podcast is always live, always local, never edited, and seen and heard on Facebook and YouTube from Fly on the Wall Productions. Streamed everywhere you get your podcasts on the web as well at airedoutvt.com. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. God bless. We'll catch you again tomorrow morning right here on Aired Out.